Ever feel like you're constantly chasing the next hit of excitement? The next like, the next episode, the next thrill? You're not alone. We're living in an age of unprecedented access to high reward, high dopamine stimuli, and it's fundamentally rewiring our brains. Today, we're diving deep into the work of Dr. Anna Lembke, a psychiatrist at Stanford University and author of the groundbreaking book Dopamine Nation, to understand the modern crisis of addiction and, more importantly, how to break free. So, what exactly is happening inside our heads? Let's talk about the science. Our brain has a delicate reward system, a sort of balance scale. On one side, you have pleasure driven by a neurotransmitter called dopamine. On the other side, you have pain. When we do something enjoyable, like eating a delicious meal or getting a notification on our phone, our brain releases a little bit of dopamine and our pleasure side tips down. But our brain is a master of balance. It doesn't like to be tipped to one side for too long. So, to restore balance, it tips the scale to the side of pain. This is that feeling of wanting just one more cookie or feeling a little down after a social media binge. Dr. Lembke explains that our brains evolved for a world of scarcity. Finding a source of pleasure was rare and essential for survival. But today, we're drowning in it. The problem with modern, high dopamine stimuli is that they release massive amounts of dopamine, far more than our brains are equipped to handle. Think of it like this. A piece of fruit might give you a small, natural dopamine hit, but a video game, a slot machine, or endless scrolling on social media, that's a fire hose of dopamine. When our brain is repeatedly bombarded with these intense hits, it has to work overtime to rebalance the scales. It does this by down-regulating our own dopamine receptors. Essentially, it becomes less sensitive to pleasure. This means we need more and more of our chosen drug just to feel normal, and we get less pleasure from simple, everyday joys. That beautiful sunset, it just doesn't hit the same anymore. This is the core mechanism of addiction. It's not a moral failing. It's a biological process. The brain's pleasure pathway has been hijacked. Let's look at some of the biggest culprits in our modern world. Social media is a perfect example. Every like, share, and comment is a small dopamine hit delivered on an unpredictable schedule, which makes it incredibly addictive. It's like a slot machine in your pocket. The endless scroll creates a constant state of seeking, always looking for the next interesting post, the next jolt of dopamine. We're not just connecting with friends. We're often just feeding a neurological loop. Then there's pornography. The internet has made explicit content more accessible, extreme, and novel than ever before. This novelty is a key driver of dopamine. When we're exposed to this hyperstimulation repeatedly, it can desensitize our reward circuits to real-life intimacy. The brain starts to expect an unrealistic level of stimulation that real human connection simply can't provide, which can lead to problems in relationships and overall life satisfaction. And now, we're entering the age of AI. AI-driven algorithms are designed to learn our preferences and feed us exactly what will keep us engaged the longest. Whether it's a YouTube recommendation rabbit hole or a personalized news feed, these systems are masters of dopamine manipulation. They are constantly being optimized to capture and hold our attention, often at the expense of our well-being. We're in an arms race for our own attention, and we're often losing. The scary part is that these addictions often fly under the radar. We tell ourselves it's just how we relax or stay connected. But if you find yourself unable to stop, if it's interfering with your work, your relationships, or your health, it's time to take a closer look. Addiction isn't just about substances. It's about any compulsive behavior that we continue despite negative consequences. So, how do we fight back? How do we reclaim our brains and our lives from this constant overstimulation? Dr. Lembke offers a clear, actionable path to recovery, and it starts with a simple but challenging step: a dopamine fast. A dopamine fast means abstaining completely from your specific addictive behavior for a period of time, typically about 30 days. Whether it's social media, video games, online shopping, or something else, the goal is to give your brain's reward pathways a chance to reset. This is crucial. It allows those down-regulated dopamine receptors to start healing and to restore your brain's natural pleasure-pain balance. Be warned, the first week or two will be tough. You'll likely experience withdrawal symptoms like anxiety, irritability, and intense cravings. This is your brain screaming for its usual fix. This is that pain side of the balance scale swinging way down. But here's the key: you have to push through it. Dr. Lembke emphasizes that this is where the healing begins. By enduring the discomfort without giving in, you are literally rewiring your brain. You are teaching it to find equilibrium without the artificial highs. During your dopamine fast, it's important to find healthy ways to cope. This is where we reintroduce ourselves to the world of low dopamine rewards. Go for a walk in nature, have a face-to-face conversation with a friend, exercise, meditate, read a physical book. These activities don't provide the intense jolt of a smartphone, but they offer a more sustained, gentle sense of contentment. They help your brain relearn how to appreciate the simple joys of being alive. Another powerful tool Dr. Lembke recommends is radical honesty. This means being truthful, first with yourself and then with others, about your struggle. Addiction thrives in secrecy and shame. When we admit we have a problem, it loses its power. Sharing your experience with a trusted friend, family member, or a therapist can be incredibly liberating. It creates accountability and provides a support system to help you through the tough times. Speaking our truth helps us understand our own patterns and motivations. Once you've completed your dopamine fast, the goal isn't necessarily to abstain forever. It's about re-engaging with intention. Dr. Lembke suggests using self-binding strategies. These are literal barriers you put between yourself and your addictive behavior. For example, you might delete the social media apps from your phone and only check them on a laptop. You could set time limits for certain websites using an app blocker. You could put your phone in another room an hour before bed. These small points of friction make it just a little harder to fall back into old, compulsive habits. It gives your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain, a moment to catch up and ask, do I really want to be doing this right now? The key is to move from mindless consumption to mindful engagement. Instead of letting algorithms dictate your time, you take control. You decide when, where, and for how long you will engage with these powerful stimuli. In conclusion, the message from Dr. Lembke's work is both a warning and a message of hope. We live in a world designed to get us hooked, a world overflowing with temptations that hijack our brain's most primitive reward pathways. The constant pursuit of pleasure, paradoxically, leads to a state of chronic pain and dissatisfaction. We become numb to the simple joys and trapped in a cycle of craving, but we are not powerless. The path to a healthier, more balanced life lies in understanding the science of our own minds. It starts with a period of abstinence to reset our neural pathways. It continues with embracing honesty and finding support. And it is maintained through intentional self-binding strategies that help us live in harmony with modern technology rather than as slaves to it. By restoring our dopamine balance, we don't just overcome addiction. We rediscover the richness of the world around us. We find joy in connection, in nature, in creating rather than just consuming. We reclaim our attention, our time, and ultimately our ability to live a truly present and fulfilling life. It's a journey worth taking. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that helps you navigate the challenges of the modern world. See you in the next one.